So, to coat a tank with cream, obviously we need the tank. So that's gonna come off the bike in a little bit. It's about 10 o'clock on a Saturday, and turned out Saturday was better than Sunday for me, and the weather is actually it is looking uh, a little iffy, but it might be okay. So obviously you need the tank, and then these are POR 15 stains on my driveway from 20 years ago. That's how tough that bugger is. Other than the tank, you need the liquid encouragement, acetone. Oh, or actually, let me go in the order in which it's going to be needed. Duct tape, muriatic acid. Muriatic acid will not eat through duct tape. Okay, acetone will. So the first step, you put duct tape. The first step is muriatic acid and duct tape. Then the part that is missing here is, because it's in the kettle inside the house, is hot water. You would need about half a gallon. You're better off putting it in, 2 batches or 3 batches of a quart or something like that each. And then you need baking soda, which I have forgotten. It's inside the house. I need to get it out, put it into a cup, and keep it ready. Then the next step, so put the acid in it, slosh it, and that orange plug should be used to plug the filler cap. And petcock, that is used to, duct tape is used to cover the petcock. Then after the acid, you dump the acid out, pour 2 rounds of boiling water, and you'll slosh it. And you need gloves. I've got my biking gloves, which is what I'm going to use. These things are on their last legs, so might as well use it for this. And then after 2 rounds with boiling water, you dump all the water out. Duct tape will hold that there as well. And you need a knife or scissors or blade, razor blade or something to cut the duct tape, etc., etc. I'll gather all of it in the next few minutes. After you clean it with hot water twice, put a couple of spoons of baking soda in it, followed by the last quart of boiling water. Slosh it and throw it. And when you dump it, the tank should dry with the heat. So by the time you dumped the water and shaken all the water out, the heat that is built into the tank should dry it. So make sure the tank is dry. Put a little bit of acetone in it. Now acetone can't hit paint, so you cut this inner tube and use it as a gasket. Or no, for the acetone step you don't need inner tube. For the acetone step, put the petcock back in without the pickup, without the plastic pickup. Okay, you can use the plug to close it up. You need a funnel, which is another thing I forgot. Too much liquid encouragement already, I think. Okay, so you need, so for the acetone step, petcock without the pickup, so you can drain it out of the tank, and you don't need to get all of it out. Okay, in fact, it's better that there is a little acetone left in it. Pour the cream in. Okay, for the cream, the petcock needs to have the inner tube used as a gasket and the orange plug, and then you start rotating it. So the bulk of the work is going to be before we start rotating. It actually helps to have a nice warm car that has taken up sunshine and getting hotter and hotter with with a lot of crap in it, so that like cardboard boxes and stuff, so you can rotate it to any position you like, any position it needs, and let it sit a few minutes, and then rotate, sit, rotate, sit, rotate, sit. So that's how this whole process is going to work. Now at this point, I'm going to stop recording and take the tank off, take all the fittings out of the tank, take the gauge out of the tank, and get the tank to where I'm going to be able to start the job. Oh, another thing is just a few seconds later. So, this whole first step for until the cream goes in the tank and you start rotating it might be an hour to 90 minutes. And after that, you have maybe an hour where you'll have to keep moving it far too often. So that will bring us to maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. After which, you can't leave the tank, but you don't have to be constantly doing anything to it. A few minutes, move it, rotate it, few minutes, few minutes, few minutes. So it's good to have something else that you're going to be doing for the rest of the day. And I'm going to be poking around with that SV over there to get, it's got a code I need to diagnose. I got to dump all the water out of the radiator because, well, I don't like leaving water in it, and I might forget that. That thing is a little bit of a project. It's a nice bike, it runs, but it's still a little bit of a project, especially because the headlight and stuff needs to be fabbed, and bracket need to be fabbed and put on. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be working on. The GS over here, it's all complete, and the battery is out of it because the SV is using the battery. Otherwise, I'd be poking around on the GS, but the GS is fine. It doesn't need any poking around at this point.